Yeah, so what's up guys? I want to show you guys how to debug your application using Chat GPT. So I have here in front of you a dashboard, more like a sales invoice dashboard I'm working on currently using Electron.js. So it's a desktop application right here. And you can see we have a lot of stuff like transaction history, we have the invoice, and also we have some other data that you just have access to. So I'm going to try and do a couple of things. This is the design, more like a scrap from several designs because I'm not pretty much a designer. I just do development, so I get design from Figma community. So here I'm gonna show you guys uh, how to fix a bug using ChatGPT. So let me first of all, based on I have a protected route system in my application, I'll change from the token here. I'll change it to just null, and the login screen should be visible when that is done. So now that I've changed it, let's see what happens. It seems like I have an error, and voila, here it is, the error we're looking for. So I do not know what that error is. I have no idea. I'm gonna try to debug it, try and see the code, what's wrong, and I don't know. There's no issue, nothing is showing red in my code, and I'm kind of lost right here. Apart from reading this type error code that says cannot destructure property, base name of React, whatever, whatever. I'm not even using use contest. I don't have any idea what this is right now. So the only solution for me right now is to use ChatGPT and paste the problem there and try to figure out what it is. Because here it's supposed to be finding, it's supposed to make sure that if the type of if the type of token is not a string, then it should show the login screen. You get what I'm saying? So but now it's not working as it's supposed to, showing me the same error, and that's a problem. So in cases like this, I just copy the error now and paste it on ChatGPT and see how I can resolve it. That's what I usually do, and that's what we're gonna do right now in this video. So just stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. So let me see if I can debug it anyway. But yeah. So you can see I've been using ChatGPT for some time now. I've been using it to check some issues in my code and also to even solve some minor issues. Sometimes I think it's even making me feel kind of lazy. I don't think anymore. So there it is, the error, and you check, what's wrong. Let's see if ChatGPT is going to give me an exact reason why I'm having that issue. Here it says the error you encounter suggests that you are trying to destructure the property base name from the value returned from the by the use context hook, by but the value is null. Well, I'm not using any use context hook in the first place. And it says verify you have a base name property in the context object, check the context provider, blah 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 blah. All these things I don't think they correlate because I'm not using any use context. So then it says something about browser routes. It only means that the issue is coming from the right navigation. So let's see if I paste my code. It's, let's see if it's going to be able to find out what the problem is more precisely. So I said I'm going to using use context hook and I paste my code there. I'm very certain that the problem is coming from this particular file. I just know. So I'm also going to say I'm suspecting because of my what am I even typing? What the fuck am I typing? Sorry guys, I shouldn't say those kind of words. I'm suspecting it's because of my null token default value. So what do you think? So that's a good thing. You can chat with ChatGPT like you are talking to an actual person. ChatGPT seems to be kind of smart. It's saying that I'm correct, but is it really smart? And severally, I've found out that ChatGPT sometimes gives you a wrong answer. So you have to be careful, guys. You have to be careful when you're prompting ChatGPT. So it says I'm correct, and it says that the reason to fix the issue, I can explicitly set the initial value of token to null, and this seems like what I've already done. Yeah, so you see why I say ChatGPT most times can be wrong, and trust me when I say it can be wrong. I've tried it several times, and I've come across situations whereby ChatGPT is giving me a wrong value. I mean, wrong value based on misconception or misunderstanding of what I prompted. So you have to be careful before you copy and paste errors into your application. So I'm going back to cross check my app now to see what GPT is saying, and it seems I did exactly the same thing. So I don't know. Okay, that's exactly what I did, right? So let me try and debug this to myself. Oh wow, I think I know what the problem is now. So yeah, I think I know. I don't need ChatGPT anymore. I think I know what the issue is. So the issue, I realized that while building this application that this is my first time using Electron, by the way. I realized that Electron always always looks for the base. I mean, like the base path in the RAT's navigation route or router navigation. What is it again? They always look for the base URL as a forward slash. So when it's null or when there's no authentication in the application, when the user is not authenticated and it's redirects to login, there's no base URL, there's no forward slash path in the route, so it's just the login component. So that's where the problem is coming from. So now I'm certain now that that's what the problem is, because I'm seeing React Webpack imported module, and I'm seeing a lot of things that relate to base name and stuff. So I just know that it's definitely coming from the route. So let's see if we can resolve this. So eventually, ChatGPT did not really help us, although it just helped us to be a little more relaxed and confident that we can solve the problem, but didn't mean that it actually gave us an answer or helped us solve it. But in most cases, I believe that ChatGPT will be helpful, especially if we provide useful information. You know, most times it's usually is helpful to me, but right now it's not. So I'll just try and do this myself. Yeah, so pretty much just walk around with this what do you call it, like a TX file. Yeah, so I'm going to duplicate this thing. The logic is going to be for the routes in the authenticated users and also the routes in the non-authenticated users, so that you can have the so basically, when Electron JS slash React JS looks for this router, it will have the router in both sides. So you have the access to the router when the user is not authenticated, and also when the user is authenticated. So there's no issue of base name cannot be found by the use contest, whatever. So that's my major idea. That's what I think would solve this issue. And so I'm going to remove other routes and leave just the base name and the routes that are related to the authentication, just these three routes. And let's see. So I'm going to redirect that base, the forward slash base name or base part to login, so that there's no other parts there. So let's see if everything works. So I should probably restart my server. Okay, it's saying that okay, yep, everything seems fine except that we don't have router. So that we don't have router. So yeah, with this now everything should work fine. So great, awesome. So this is it's all working fine now. Perfect. Great. Login and the register screen. And if I turn this now back to a string and believe in no time the dashboard should be back on better. This is perfect. Yes, perfect.